Alright, so today we are starting our graphing unit. So our first worksheet we are going to take notes on, and then you are going to do the rest for homework. The top of your worksheet should say, complete the table of solutions for each equation, then graph the solutions and draw a line through them. The line, if extended, will cross a letter outside the grid. Write this letter in each box containing the exercise number. So once we extend our line, which I'll show you how to do, you're going to write whatever letter it crosses into one of these boxes here. So let's do our first example. We're going to start with number 5 because this is one that has a negative. So I want to make sure you guys don't get too confused, and it also has a 2 right in front of your x. The chart here tells us which x values we need to substitute in, and then we're going to get y values out. This chart over here is what we are going to use to show our work. So in this big blank here, we're going to write our equation, which is 7 minus 2x. So right here is 7 minus 2. And when I put the x right here, that means 2 times x. And I'm going to put it in parentheses over here. So our first x value that we are substituting in is 2. So I'm going to put a 2 right here to remind us. Then I'm going to put 7 minus 2. I'm substituting that 2 in for x. 2 times 2. And over here we're going to put whatever y equals. Y equals whatever the value is after we do the math of this. So if we change colors for our next step, we see that we do order of operations. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. So our y value is 3. Now this here makes an ordered pair, and we've graphed with ordered pairs this year very briefly at the beginning. So this ordered pair is 2, 3. Now that will be our first ordered pair that we do on our graph. So we're going to go to our graph, and remember this goes x, y, and here we have our x-axis, and here we have our y-axis. So this tells us basically we go over 2 and up 3 from our origin, right? So we go over 1, 2, and up 1, 2, 3, and we put a little dot there. All right, so let's move on to our second x value, which is negative 1. So we are going to substitute negative 1 in for x. So we do 7 minus 2 times negative 1. Now if we switch our colors to show our work, negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2, so we're going to change that to a plus 2. And 7 plus 2 is 9. So our y value is 9. We're going to put it both there and there. And our ordered pair is negative 1, comma 9. And remember, those always go in parentheses. So now I start at my origin, I go negative 1 and up 9. So I go 3, 6, up 9, right there. All right, next x value is 5. So we put 5 here. This means we substitute 5 in for our x. So it's 7 minus 2 times 5. We're going to change our color again for showing work. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. 7 minus 10 is going to give us a negative 3. So our ordered pair is 5, comma, negative 3. And when we graph that, over here we go over 5 on the x, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 3. So there's our graph. There's our point, I should say. So, oh, I forgot to write negative 3 over here. We also write negative 3 over there. So, why don't you guys try 0, pause here, and check back to see if you get it correct. Okay, so you should have gotten your ordered pair of 0, 7, and your point should be graphed right there. You don't go anywhere on the x or y or on the x-axis. You just go up to 7. And now we want to connect our dots with a nice long line. We want to extend our line, and when we extend our line, we're going to make it probably go through this S, and that's what we'll write at the top. So I'm going to pause and extend my line. Okay, so there's my line. Notice how my line has two arrows, one on either end, and when I extend it down, it goes through my S. So since this is number 5, we are going to put an S where number 5 is, on the very top. Okay, so now let's do our next example, number 6. We're doing this example because it has a negative in front of our x and it's a fraction. So the first number we put in for x is 6. So, actually before we do that, what do we write right here? We write this part of our equation right here. Negative 2/3 x plus 1. So right here we write negative 2 over 3 x plus 1. So our first x value is 6. We substitute 6 in for x. So negative 2 over 3 times 6 plus 1. And again, I'm going to show my work in red. So remember how we multiply fractions is we look at this as 6 over 1, and we just multiply straight across. So negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So our ordered pair is 6 comma negative 3. So I'm going to write that here, 6 comma negative 3. Now I'm going to graph it. So I go 6 over in the positive direction, and I go down 3. And I put my little line right there. Or not my line, my dot. Okay, my next x value. Oh, I forgot we got to put negative 3 right there. My next x value is negative 6. So I'm going to put in now a negative 6. So this is 2/3 times negative 6 plus 1. Well, we do the same thing here. So this time, instead of it being negative 12 over 3, it's going to be a positive 12 over 3 plus 1. Well, that we know gives us 4 plus 1. So now our y value is going to be 5. I forgot to change colors, but I think you get the idea. So negative 6 comma 5 is our second ordered pair. So now I go over negative 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I go up 5, and I put my dot right there. Again, I want to put my y value here, so our ordered pair is 6 comma negative 3. We can look at it like this, negative 6 comma 5. Now I want you guys to try 3 and 0 and pause and check back with the video to see if you get your answer correct. So pause here, do the work, check back. Okay, so for our next 2 points, you should put 3 in for your x value, and what you should have gotten out was y equals negative 1. So that's our next point, 3 comma negative 1. To graph that, we move over 1, 2, 3, and go down 1 right there. You should have next put in, substituted 0 in for your x value. So we put 0 here. Anything times 0 is 0. So this negative 2/3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. So your ordered pair is 0 comma 1. Looks kind of like a little owl. So remember, with 0 as your x, you don't go anywhere on the x axis. You just go up 1 on the y, and you put your dot there. Now the directions tell us we need to extend this line, so you can probably see which letter this is going to go through. So I'm going to do that really quick. So here's my extended line. Notice not only does it go through all 4 of my points, but it also extends out and goes through the G. So we know under number 6 we need to write the letter G. Over here, we'll do it in red. Under number 6 we need to write 2 G's because there's 2 6's. So go ahead and do 1 through 4 on your own. Good luck. If you have any questions, please ask me or watch the video again. Thank you.